game and realized that we broke it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yes, it's like we're playing a game and there's like no
Wait, so launch it right now.
the engineers don't the commander doesn't upgrade the sub commanders, the factories.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a lot of the game.
So yeah, Sprout I was trying to figure out where they broke it. It was
Yeah.
nice. Anyway, I will. I won't keep you, but I would like another invite once we get this sorted out. I'd like to hang out with you guys and play a game.
Sure thing. Before you leave, I actually do want to ask some stuff about the mod project.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so one of the main things that I wish the game had was saving and multiplayer.
It's a problem in the engine. Everybody asks. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's nothing that can be done. I do believe somebody at one point attempted a save, but it was quite broken.
Oh
It didn't
no.
really work very well. Yeah, so generally with the project, there are files that you can access, and then there's the engine that you can't, and it's somewhere buried in there.
Oh, so you guys can't touch the engine?
No, no, we just do the work on the files that you can access.
Okay.
hmm
Oh man.
So it's just the way that developers, I think, put it together. It's like, there's just some parts of the game you can't access. It's like, for example, have you ever noticed that units that can build things like the Tsar can't build while on the move?
Oh yeah.
And we, over time have tried to fix those things, but realized they were mods.
Oh, that reminds me. One of the mods I actually do like a lot that I really miss is Experimental Wars.
Yep.
Already?
People have asked. I don't personally have an answer to that. You know, there was no decision to not include it. Is that the one that has the orbital layer?
It's the one that you have like spaceships, like even Tech 1 spaceships.
Yeah, yeah. There was something broken about it, if I remember correctly.
That one was fun. I like that one because you can also like when your guys got stars, it'd give them like double barrels or extra stuff on them or extra guns, kind of like Supreme Commander 2 does.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was awesome.
No, I can't. I mean, I couldn't say it. You can set up other mods to play, and sometimes the AI can use it, and sometimes it can't. So it's hit and miss. You can try setting it up.
Oh yeah, that's true because that's one of the things I noticed with the old mods, the AI, which does not work very well, and then ever since you guys with your storing AI and stuff, it's so much better.
So all the mods are integrated and kind of balanced to all play together. And I think you have to teach the AI how to use some of the experimentals anyway.
Yeah. So you guys haven't really talked. Sorry for interrupting.
No, please go ahead.
So you guys haven't really talked that much about Experimental Wars?
No, I think at one point it was brought up for discussion, and I'd have to go back and talk to the boys. There was something wrong with it, and it wasn't really orbital, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so the AI couldn't. I guess the best way to understand things is that if the AI can't use it, we can't put it in.
Oh.
Kind of unfair. So there's just some really cool mods that are out there that the AI just can't wrap its head around.
Oh, really?
So you can put things in for your own play, but the AI might not be able to understand them.
So kind of like the regular, just don't select that mod when we play with people who don't have it.
Yes, and that's why mods come in very slowly, because it takes a lot of work to balance it into the same universe, and to make sure that the AI can use it and use it, as effectively as it can.
Yeah, it's really interesting how good you guys made the AI. It's
That's a matter of perspective. We get people who complain that it's too easy.
I
You know,
disagree.
we play at about 1.3.
That's crazy. Like me, Michael, and Nino fought against 3.8s,
Yeah,
and that was actually the right difficulty for us, but it was so hard for us to push through.
it's awesome. To me, that's awesome in that for any one person, there's always different experiences. Like I said, we have people that come in from different communities and they play and they're like, oh, I beat it in 40 minutes. It was easy. It's like, okay, awesome. And then we have, guys like yourself that are like, hey, man, it's a challenge. So we play at 1.3. We usually play, the sweet spot is about 4 players. Um,
Okay.
40-kilometer maps are what Loud was designed for.
Oh, that's something I wanted to ask about. Is
Sure.
me and Nino, we really would love more 5 and like. There's not even a single 5 kilometer, because we do sometimes wish we had smaller maps to play with.
So yes, Loud was never designed for anything but a 40-kilometer in the beginning, because the whole point was to
Whoa.
we wanted to play bigger maps.
Jeez.
And so all the work was designed in trying to make 40-kilometer maps playable without it going to -3 in
Yeah.
30 minutes.
I
Um,
remember that.
so a couple of things. There is a vault kind of thing. I don't know if you've seen it.
Well,
In the launcher under tools, there is a map folder, and you may find that. So we have a rotation of maps, and then there are maps that we don't include in the install, but they're in the vault. Now that's coming out. There may not be anything in it right now because apparently the guy who runs the updater is doing some things. Um, so
oh,
you're probably going to see more maps coming in the future. The AI is never going to play well on a 5-kilometer map. There's just
too small.
well, if you notice that where the mass points are spread out into that kind of 4 squares,
Yeah.
that square, that's you have to remember that's going to be the size of his base, and he needs room to move around and set up forward bases and things like that. What we do have coming out are, I think, a couple more smaller 10 and 20-kilometer maps for up to like 2 or 3 players.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily maps for. I've seen some of the maps you guys play on, and some of them are designed for 5 players, 6 players.
Yeah.
So making some maps that are specific to smaller groups. But unfortunately, he won't play on a 5.
Okay, yeah. Maybe more 10 if that's possible, because you guys do have 2 10s.
Yeah, I can. I think if there are maps that, do you have any maps in mind that you like?
I have a lot. Okay, so one of the ones I played on a lot, I remember being 10, was the sand one with like this big wall in the center, and you had it was 4 players, like 2 on the left, 2 on the right. I think that you have a bigger version of that.
Fields of Isis.
I believe so. I used to play that map like all the time.
You can submit it. There is a map channel, and you can. All it needs. I don't know if do you have any like map editing background? Have you messed around with the game in any way?
Not with this game. I used to kind of mess with the Warcraft 3 map editor, but that was it.
You could submit a map in the. There's a map discussion channel. We have a couple of guys. They need to be marked up for the AI to be able to use the map. It needs all the right pathing nodes.
Oh, interesting.
So if you have a 10-kilometer map that you and your buds like to play, post it up. Axel is one of the guys that you can talk to, and he can map them up, mark them up, so that the AI knows how to use that 10-kilometer map. Otherwise, he just goes brain dead.
Wait, so you have like a link of a place of where we pretty much request maps?
So if you look, so if you go into our channel, there's like map discussion, and you can post and say, hey, I have a map that I'd like to get marked, and you can submit the map.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
if you tell me which one it is, I can let you might get some special privileges. We don't have anybody who's ever really come in who posts videos and stuff for us, so I can maybe bump you to the queue.
Oh, really? Like, I'm the first one who's really done this?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, no, others post video. Like, how do I say? There are a few of you guys that have posted loud games,
Hmm.
and then one day it was like, hey, why aren't we reaching out to you guys, man? Like, we're a very small community.
Yeah.
You guys, there's obviously something about loud that you guys like. So why wouldn't we try to connect and reach out? You're like the first guy that's actually responded.
Oh, really? Everybody else just didn't say anything?
I think one guy started talking, and I invited him to the channel, but I don't think he came. Um, you know, we're a small group, so when we see guys like yourself putting shit out, it's nice to introduce. So if there's a map you want, I can probably funnel it in, get it done if you want. If that Field of Isis, you have to
Okay.
have the map. I don't think we have a copy.
Okay. Oh, you don't have a... Because I think it's from the base game, so...
We've okay. I can ask. I don't deal with the maps.
Oh.
Um, so I can talk to Axel, see if we have. You say it's the Fields of Isis 10K, or is there another one in particular?
Yeah, Fields of Ice is 10K, and also, Satan's Clutch, I've noticed is 40 km now.
It's going to be coming back, so it's going to stay as a 40 kilometer on the install, but I think after this weekend, it will be in the vault, which is the map mods folder or whatever, and you'll be able to install it on your own.
Oh, install the 20 km version?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's one of
There
my old favorites.
we hate the map personally.
Oh.
um, I'm not a fan of the big choke point maps.
Oh.
Um, but there was some terrain and pathing issues for the AI on the 20 kilometer.
Oh, that makes sense. It's so interesting learning about, what goes behind all this. That's so cool.
The AI, there's a whole pathing system you have to create, and expansion-based markers, forward-based markers, so that he knows how to get out on the map and set up bases, and get his intelligence, hunt mass, all that stuff. Um, so all of that, a lot of that is all contained on the map.
Oh, wow. It's funny, when you first, like, reached out and commented and invited us to talk in the Discord, I told a good amount of my friends about it, and we were, like, actually kind of, like, excited, because it's, like, this is something that I've liked for a while, and you guys actually work on this. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing this for about 8 years, and it's only been the last few that we kind of like worked up the courage to release it, for lack of better words. It was just a small group of real life friends putting it all together.
Yeah, I do remember, actually, I think I played this your guys' mod like many years ago, like with my old friend Gavin. I even have some old videos. It's one of my most popular videos. Like, you guys had AIXs, right? AIX Saurian back then?
No, we're not Saurian.
Oh, is that different?
Yes, Saurian. So Saurian is the kind of like the godfather of the AI development. He was the first guy. Everybody played Saurian, and then Loud kind of connected with him, learned a bit, and we kind of just started our own because he stopped. I think he was hired by the company that when they did Forged Alliance 2.
Wait, what?
Or sorry,
Maybe...
Subcom 2. Subcom 2, my apologies.
Oh, Subcom 2.
I think he somehow, the guy who designed Saurian, I feel like he ended up working for one of the companies that put the game out, doing like AI development stuff.
Oh, wow.
So we kind of took over after he left, and kind of borrowed off of what he did.
Oh, I think I do remember playing Loud before, though. Because you guys have had this around for a while, haven't you?
Not as long as Saurian. Not as long. Saurian was the first, and I think we've been about 5 years. I think we were on. I'm gonna say 5 4 4 5 years, but Saurian's been out for well over a decade.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Saurian is the the godfather of the AI for modders in that respect. I don't think there was anyone before him. I think there was a few smaller ones.
Yeah, my number one favorite thing about the Loud project is it makes it so much easier for me to have people play with mods in this game, because
Yes.
before it was a nightmare. I legit got like my mod folder in the game, I zipped it, I put it on Mediafire, and then I would tell my friends to download it and how to extract and put it in. Because we had so many mods, it was way easier just to do that than it was
Yes.
to do all the work.
And I think we get some grief because we don't have all of the latest Total Mayhem units and so forth, and a few other of the common mod packs. But
Oh, there's new ones?
I want to say yes, but I don't know if I know what they are.
Yeah, oh,
Like I know there's like a final version of Total Mayhem. You mentioned the Experimental Wars, that sort of thing.
okay.
So the mods that we do have, and I think there's 4 or 5 of them: 4DC, Total Mayhem, Black Ops. They've all been Brulan, who is a contributor here on our channel. They've all been kind of put through the washing machine together, so they're all balanced. So the units from different mods, if you were just playing them without, they're all different. Build times are different, the strengths are different, their damage output's different. So some all of a sudden become like the wonder weapons because this unit in this mod, maybe to your friend's point, is like grossly overpowered. But at least in mod, whether you like it or not, and some people complain, they're all kind of walking in the same field, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, one of my favorite things, like on the live stream right now, I turned back on Enhanced Commanders and Total Mayhem. And there's so many more things to build. And because Nino's not here, so, and also I don't know if you know, but Michael, he's new to this. He's very new. I just introduced him to this game like a week ago. Yeah, he's
awesome. And you're enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
Excellent. It takes I wish I could
Yeah,
play with you guys, but
There's something like this before, so it's like a strategy game. I've played strategy games before, but it's really fun.
yes, I saw you posting Hoi. I've been playing Hoi since like the first Hoi 1, Hoi 2.
Oh yeah, I was playing Hearts of Iron a little bit. That's Nino introduced me to that game.
Awesome game.
Game. It's very slow.
I find it doesn't translate well in multiplayer.
Oh yeah.
Just because, like, especially when like one person's at war and you're not, and they got to slow it right down, and time can go to a bit of a standstill. But solo game is fantastic. We've tried playing multiplayer, and sometimes it just gets too tedious.
Yeah, it's a very the combat I wish was more exciting. Because I didn't really have much happening. I just had like one little tank division.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm sure if I had like more stuff, but I kind of like this type of combat more. It's kind of a weird middle ground of turn-based and RTS.
I just think it's interesting that shoot, I can't remember when Subcom and Forged Alliance came out, but that we're still playing it. It kind of like there just hasn't been a game good enough to replace it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of sad. That I love Forged Alliance, and I love the community and stuff, but it's kind of sad that we're still playing a game from what, 2006, 2008, somewhere around there, I think.
Oh yeah, back when before Reforged, I used to still play Warcraft 3 with my friends with the custom maps.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever played Warcraft 3 before.
Maybe with friends, not too often. I play for Subcom. I play like Steel Divisions. I like the World War II RTSs.
I always liked to. Right? Did you ever play Company of Heroes?
Yes.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Men of War.
Oh,
Field of Dreams.
Men of War is a good game. That game's a lot of fun.
I like, I mean, we always come back to Supreme Commander, though. I mean, we play every Friday and Saturday night. There can be up to about a dozen of us playing.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out a time where all of us can play. A dozen? A dozen? Holy crap.
So it depends. We sometimes will just break down into some smaller games. A lot of guys don't like to do PvP. They like to play against the AI. There's a threshold, and especially if people's machines aren't up to speed.
Oh, it slows down the game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much good work you've done. If somebody's not having a very good processor, the game, you start to see performance starting to dip after about 5,000 units.
Oh, I know what you mean. When we had our game, I don't know if you saw it, where it was 6 of us and we had the 3 AI. We couldn't really speed it up anymore. It got stuck around +2, +1, and it got stuck to +0, but it didn't go negative.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have sorry, go ahead, sir.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, because I think all 3 of us have pretty good computers.
Yeah, then you can be like we play generally 40K maps, occasionally 20. Like during the week when we want a small game, we'll play 20 kilometer. So we'll play 40, like like Shards, the Wilderness, 1.3, about a 650 unit cap. And
Well,
we'll
650, wow.
Well, the AI, so it depends on how you look at the game. So the AI gets whatever it is. I can't remember. If it was 650 times how many players are in the game.
Whoa.
It's like a percentage that he gets. So it usually works out that his unit cap is about 1,000, and he doesn't often need more than that.
Okay.
And we try to earn our unit cap through veterancy.
Veterancy.
So as your units gain veterancy, they increase your unit cap.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
And then we have some of the buildings, when they're fully upgraded, will reduce its own unit cap.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
So like the Tech 3 power gens and T2 and the fabricators, shields, when they're fully upgraded with like their final upgrade, it reduces its own unit cap by, I think, half.
Oh. I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
So when you're playing, like, we like to play tight games where you gotta, earn the veterancy, if you know what I mean, and earn the unit cap. So we play a 650 game, and maybe by the end I get up to about 800.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
It's also for performance, so that if we're playing with 4, 5, 6 players, if everyone's building 1,000 units, doesn't matter how good. Sorry, doesn't matter how good you are, the computer, or how good your computer is, it's going to bog down.
Okay, that makes sense.
We're actually working on not a tutorial, that wouldn't be the right word. Like a manual of some kind, because there's no information. We do a really poor job of like I said, you just learned that today, right?
Yeah.
We have a very poor job of that, and that sometimes frustrates players because someone's like, hey man, I built my T3 Engineer, why can't I build nukes? Because we bumped it up to the sub commander level.
Oh, I had no idea. We just leave nukes off.
We hate nukes, but I mean, a lot of people use nukes, and we made it so you can only build them with sub commanders or fully upgraded commanders.
Okay.
So that the main thing for us was pushing the game back so that you had hopefully more of a T1 and T2 game. It wasn't just a rush to Tech 3.
Yeah, I'm kind of guilty of that.
Yeah. But there's so many cool units, man, at T1 and T2 that just go kind of like under the radar.
I do like building lower tech ones though. Like I like upgrading my factories and then making lower tech ones with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm assuming you do all the efficiency mods and stuff.
Yeah, if you ever see the live streams, I like doing those. It takes forever though.
Yes. It does, but if you do them, there's a point of diminishing returns where it's not worth it. You may as well put up gates.
Oh yeah, I realized that when I was playing against Michael yesterday. I started just making a ton of gates and I swarmed him with tech ones.
Yes.
That's always
Yeah.
one of the most fun.
But there's a point in the game where it's like, okay, I don't have, if I start plunking down new factories, by the time they're fully upgraded, the game might be almost over.
Oh yeah. I wonder if is it possible for you guys to have because Michael didn't realize that his energy and mass were getting like destroyed.
What do you
And
mean by
well, basically he didn't realize the importance of energy because when we played with him it shares. And
Okay.
he had 2 Tech 1 power generators and like 8 engineers in his commander and Tech 2 stuff and even Tech 3 mass extractors. And he was all like, dude, nothing's building. Everything's super slow. So I had to help show him how power works. I wonder if you guys can bake in like maybe a notification. I don't know if that's even possible, but like, build more power or even a percentage would be super cool. Like what percentage like everything's working at. I think that'd be interesting.
when you're in? Hold on, we take notes, man. No, like opening the community up, allows us to kind of learn from like what people are into, and some things are just impossible and we can't do it, or the engine or the code just won't let you do it. But other times you get good ideas, and we recognize that we're really horrible at giving our own explanations. The even flow mod causes a lot of contentious issues.
Oh, interesting.
And so you're saying something that so like when you're in like energy or mass lock.
Yeah, so let's say that you have like plus 100 energy and minus 200, and then having something say like 50% build efficiency or something.
You know what we should do sometime? So if you're ever on the Loud channel, Sprouto is the main guy who does the AI work.
Okay.
One of these, if you were interested, we should play a game one time, cast a game, and you could kind of like peck his brain through the whole thing to learn. Because I watch sometimes when I watch you guys, there is a lot of stuff that you guys don't know that we have just been really poor at explaining to people.
Oh yeah, like when Nino was frustrated about the submarines.
Yes, yeah, that's because if I remember correctly, the whole relationship underwater was broken. And
Wait, Daniel, do you only have Tech 1s right now, or what?
No, those are Tech 2s. You're saying?
Tech 1, the subs, yes. He doesn't like, I'm assuming it's Cybern he doesn't like particularly.
I was Cyber and he was UEF.
Yes, the UEF. The torpedo boat is not to be ignored. It is a fantastic unit. It rides so high on the water that subs have a hard time hitting it.
Oh yeah.
And if they're protected with some shields, they can be absolutely devastating on boats. So
Yeah.
not to underestimate them. And I think the UEF destroyer in Loud is the best all-around destroyer in the game for subs.
Yeah. Also, sorry to have more ideas that, but one of the things I realized when we were playing the water map was I feel like more could be done with the water. I remember when I played before. I don't know if it was Experimental Wars, but basically you were able to make stuff underwater, like Tech 3 power generators underwater in the sea.
You can build Paragons in the water, P-Gens, Mass Fabs, some of the point defense, flak.
Wait, you can make power generators in the water?
Yep, and the Paragons.
Wait, you can they go underwater?
Yeah.
What?
Yes. Elf generators, I think, can be built in the water.
My Tech 3 power generator doesn't say amphibious though.
It may not. It may not say it. See?
Oh. Oh, I didn't know that because I look at if it's like half water and then if it says like amphibious on it. Oh no.
Yes, and I think the naval factory can build amphibious units. Yeah, there's a. I think you can build T2 artillery in the water.
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
T2 point defense. The attack missile defense, I think. P-gens, mass fabricators, stealth generators, the Paragon.
Yeah.
All can be built underwater.
Oh. I didn't realize as much could be built. Like I did make the stealth ones and stuff in the Tech 2 artillery, but I didn't realize that the power could be built underwater and the mass fabricators too.
Yep.
Oh, that would have been good.
And you can get the adjacencies underwater.
Oh, when Nino ran into the water, I could just told him to build in the water.
Yes.
Oh
See,
no.
That's what I'm saying. We've not explained a lot, so it's always trial and error for players when they come in, and you know.
Okay.
It's failing on our part, and that's why it's like, you know, meeting guys like you is great. Maybe, you know, any new information, you know, people that are watching your stream, then, you know, hopefully maybe some more things can be explained. And,
Yeah.
like I say, we're working on some kind of like a wiki, I guess, is maybe the best way to kind of.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because things like Even Flow is a very contentious mod, and a lot of it, you know, we don't explain really how it's intended to work.
Oh, what is even flow?
It rebalances everything that the engineers and the factories can do. It kind of, how do I say it? So without it, an engineer, say, can build one unit, and it's going to take, I don't know, three mass per tick to build that unit. And then you can build another unit, and that same engineer can then express 11 mass per tick. And it wreaks havoc on the economy, and it's kind of like, you know, wouldn't the engineer kind of express the same amount of mass no matter what it builds?
Oh.
And so Even Flow looks to balance that, and the original game had a real bias towards engineers, and factories were almost, in our opinion, useless.
Oh, really? Yeah, I remember people used to just spam engineers.
Yes, because, you know, engineers can build defenses better than a factory could build units.
Oh.
So we increase the build power of factories to be, you know, the most powerful builder for the most part in the game.
Okay, that makes sense. I noticed, yeah, because I remember the factories used to take forever.
Yes. So Even Flow kind of brings all that into a sense of balance in the universe. Just, you know, it's hard for some people because, you know, things take longer now. You know, without it, a unit, you know, you can maybe build a Monkey Lord in, you know, 3 minutes, but in Even Flow, it's going to take 7 or 9. But the whole point was then, you know, stack up your sub-commanders, because they're the most powerful engineers in the game, and those are the ones you should be focusing on.
Oh yeah, I think you noticed I like my support commanders.
Yes. You know, I mean, when I play, I'll routinely finish with like 30 or 40 sub-commanders in a game.
Oh yeah.
And you know, doing whatever they're doing. They're the best in the game. But, you know, everyone would spam T1.
Oh yeah.
So Even Flow was designed to kind of bring all that into a universe where everything kind of, you could balance your economy. How's that? You could say, okay, it's going to cost, if I want to build that unit, it's going to cost me, you know, 20 mass per tick.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or look at your economy and go, you know, okay, I can afford to do that. Where other times you're building stuff without it, everything spikes. It's all over the place.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, you know, players coming in from different communities have had a struggle with that. That's probably the one that gives people the most grief.
Okay.
But whenever I play without it, I always want to put it back on. So if you play with it, it's probably something you don't even pay attention to at this point.
Yeah, I play with everything on, and except for, well, Tolmayam and Enhanced with Nino, but right now I have everything on. Oh, that reminds me. So, Resource Rich is, I think, like the one thing I kind of missed the old way. Why is it at 10% now instead of double?
Believe it or not, it messes up the AI and gives him a conflated view of his economy.
Oh.
So, I guess the best way to explain that, everything is done through the lens of trying to make sure the AI is not affected by anything or it knows how to do something.
Oh, man.
And, the resource rich gives him this fake idea that his economy is better than it is.
Oh.
Messing up his build. Now you can, again, if you have that mod, you can put it back in. It doesn't break him by any stretch. But we felt that it was hampering his ability.
Okay, so a lot of this pretty much goes back to the AI then.
Yes. The whole point of Loud was to provide, a competitive AI for people who didn't want to or didn't play PvP, and to increase the performance so that you could play large maps, with, hopefully good sim speed.
Okay. And do you know how many threads that it uses now?
It's always the same. Just basically uses the one.
So this is a... Oh, so I thought that story and then all that new stuff made it so that it could be multi-threaded.
No.
Oh.
If you talk to one of our computer nerds in the group, they'll give you probably the more technical answer.
Oh.
I think it might use a bit of the threads, but the point is it's not even technically dual core. That's why people can have these awesome computers, but if they don't have good single threads,
Oh.
it will still, torpedo the game.
Jeez.
Yes. Yeah, because it's, I think dual core, when it came out, dual core was in its infancy, so it didn't really totally utilize dual core.
Yeah, because this game, well, Supreme Commander, this is all built off of the original Supreme Commander pretty much, right?
Yeah, so you can't make those. I shouldn't say you can't. I don't know. I'm not a computer techie enough to know, but I don't think you could make this game utilize threads, more threads.
Oh yeah, because it's pretty much part of the engine.
Yes, and that's what I say. There's a lot that can be done, and then there's just stuff you can't get your hands into that pie. They've locked you out.
Yeah, and I was curious. Sorry.
No, I'm in no rush, man. I'm having my last little smoke for the night. Go on.
Okay, so I wondered what was like. How's this compared to Forged Alliance Forever? Because I remember I messed with that at some point, but I just went back to mods and Loud Project, so I don't know as much about it.
I won't lie. I don't have any interaction with Forged Alliance Forever. There are guys in the Loud team who do, and some of them are even members in the FAF team, I guess, maybe I would say.
Oh, wow.
FAF is PvP. That's, I think, their main bread and butter. That's the audience they cater for, and they're really good at it. I think we have one guy here who hangs with us, who's part of, I think, the team there that's developing some AI work.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you anything about it. I'm just not connected in that community.
Okay. Makes sense.
So, they're really not much else. They do their PvP and they do it well. Their stuff is slick. And we're just kind of like a little small community. We're not as big as them by any stretch.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We're probably, humbly saying, we're probably the next big community for Forged Alliance.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are others, to be honest. I think there are a few pockets. I know Sprout has talked to guys that have communities in like Europe and stuff, but um,
Oh, that's
you know,
interesting.
yeah. I mean, so we have people come over from FAF. They check it out. Some are cool. Some are, nah, this is not FAF, and they head out.
Uh,
You know, it is
oh,
what it.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah. We do our thing. They do their thing, and Sprouto has a relationship with them, and he helps out, I think, with their AI development. Um, just
Okay.
maybe to answer questions for any of the guys or to brainstorm with them. I don't know.
Okay. And I know that's so many like probably ideas that wouldn't work,
Hmm.
but like more I know it's stupid, so like more RPG almost elements like if because one of my favorite things about experimental I know I go back to that one a lot, but like how the units, when they get stars they change. And
Yeah.
I really like that concept. And even like what if our commander like getting more kills unlocked even more like sub abilities or something. I don't know.
We've Stuff like that has been up for discussion. Um, so I think when you mean by stars, you're talking about veterancy,
Yeah.
and the veterancy gives you better line of sight, um, better reload, a little bit better damage, better armor, and more importantly, better regeneration. And that stays. And you get the unit cap, sorry, as well. And that unit cap goes up by each veterancy. So it's not just one um, dash of veterancy that you get. So each time your guy gets a star, you're getting additional unit cap.
Oh, what about when he dies?
And it stays. So
Just learn something new.
yeah, so for us, we play like we play it down. We go as low as 500 unit cap, and so veterancy becomes really important. To be really competitive.
I had no
Um,
idea.
so some of that would work. The if Sprout was on channel, and should come join us one day if you really want to talk to the guy who can answer everything, because he does most of it.
Okay.
He's happy. He loves to talk, and he's on all the time. Pop in and say hi, and you know if there's things that can be done, he'll let you know. So some of it could be done. We've talked about upgrades on experimentals if they got veterancy,
Oh.
and maybe that would unlock different capabilities. Mm,
I wonder if can experimentals get enhancements like a commander?
yes.
Wait, do any have that?
Nope. The It could be done, but Sprout doesn't like to spend his time tinkering with units. He's all about making the AI good enough
Oh.
to beat. Like he wants it to beat
Well, yeah, it does a good job at that.
you. The guy who so we have Brulan, Balthazar, who is probably the best modder for Forged Alliance.
Okay.
Uh, so if you look in our announcements channel, you'll see like we have a new unit coming out that we commissioned from him.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it's more groundbreaking in terms of experimentals, just in
Ooh.
terms of what it is and what it can do. And anyway, it's for the Seraphim. I don't know if any of you guys play Seraphim.
Oh, the Seraphim?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's the one that we introduced an experimental sniper for the Seraphim not too long ago.
Oh, it's they seem like the most powerful race to us almost.
Okay. What gives you that impression?
Um,
See, I think they're underserved.
oh really?
Yes.
I remember me and Nina were making jokes about that, how powerful they are. Whenever we fight them, it just seems like Nino said that their tanks are really strong, and
Okay.
Yeah, I wish Nina was here. Damn it. But
I'm sure I'll meet him at some point. I would argue that with all of the mods that we have introduced into the game, the Seraphim were more underserved. I mean, the UEF have
Oh, yeah.
everything. They have everything.
they get all the mods.
They have 4 air experimentals. They have 2 intelligence devices. Right, so the other factions only have 1 air experimental.
Yeah. Well, I think the Cybernev too, right?
If you count the transport,
What about the weird flying bug? I forgot what it's called. It's a little bit different.
so we're eventually going to be taking out the original Soul Ripper
Oh, really?
and replacing it with the Wyvern Soul Ripper. It's the original Soul Ripper is just dead and dumb.
Oh, why is that?
It doesn't. Do you ever find that you see it spinning around all the time?
Yeah, it's usually confused all the time.
Yes, and that's because its guns and stuff are really weird, and it doesn't get the opportunity to really project its firepower.
Oh.
So this replacement one is far superior. So we put it out just to get feedback and see how people liked it.
Oh, that's cool.
And we're gonna phase the old one out and keep the new one.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
Yes.
And then,
And there's a few UEFs that we're gonna be doing that too.
yeah. Also, I noticed you guys have what's it called? The artillery defense system, the defense grid.
For the UEF.
Yeah. What? I don't know much about. What is that?
So it's the T3. It's a shield. It's from. Oh shoot, what pack is that from? I don't remember. It only works against artillery.
Oh.
So anything non-artillery, it will have no effect. So you're not going to build that to defend a base without having, regular shielding to go with it.
Yeah.
So sometimes players are mistaken and they think, oh, I just need to build that. But that's designed, and that's all artillery, from mobile artillery, barrage artillery, strategic artillery, the whole bit.
Yeah. That kind of seems like it does a lot of what the square shield kind of purpose is, right?
Yeah, the square shield is begrudgingly in the game. We're not a fan of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it is. It's in the game.
Okay, and I wonder, would it be possible to have anything that kind of is like that, except with, like, one of the most frustrating things for me when I was fighting the Seraphim was their bombers kept falling into my base.
Okay. And what faction were you playing as?
Cybran.
And you're saying what, like the strap bombers?
The main Seraphim bomber from the vanilla game.
The Awasa?
I think so.
A big experimental bomber?
Yeah, the giant. Its corpse would keep destroying stuff.
If you have shields, the shields will absorb the damage.
Really? I had a lot of shields and
I've seen how you guys. Unfortunately, the way you guys do your shields is also not very good. That's a misconception about shields.
Oh.
Shields need to be spaced.
Really?
Yeah, because if shields are bunched up together and projectiles are coming in and one gets hit, they're both going to get hit, and so they're both just going to go down equally. So you want to have them spaced out in a way that they're basically just protecting the physical part of the base of the shield.
Oh, okay.
And then you can have, now if you're Cybran, you can have some of the smaller level shields to guard it. So if it goes down, the smaller shield, will hold, especially the Cybran we've given the Cybran the fastest regeneration rate for shields. All the shields have their own weakness.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So when the Awasa drops, if your shields are up, unless it's how do I say this? If the bomb lands to the side of a shield, It will destroy everything under the shield.
Oh.
If the bomb impacts the shield will absorb the damage.
I don't mean the bomb.
You mean crashing on you?
Yeah.
Yes. There the Tsar is the worst offender for that.
Oh.
We just played tonight, and the AI came with like 7 Tsars on my forward position.
Oh.
And then they all die and crash on you. So I'm assuming you're talking about that when they get shot down and die on your ship.
Yeah, exactly.
Depends on your argument on what kind of damage something of that size should create when it lands.
I wonder, like, if something like the artillery defense system could be used to basically stop it, or if it can just do direct damage to the shields and it has to get through the shields first or something.
Now, Sproto will argue to a degree that all of your factories and shields have shield upgrades
Oh, yeah.
that would mitigate, damage from things falling.
Yeah. They fell, like, onto my shield generators, though.
Yeah. No, look, guys rage all the time when, Tsars or Awasas come flying over your base and you've got, whacks of anti-air and T4 anti-air and, you blow it down and it just comes and lands on, it's always the most important part of your setup, your economy or your factories or your shields.
Yeah.
Not much to do about that. I think Sprout and the rest would argue that there should be damage. Thing of that size falling down, it's going to cause a little bit of a ruckus. It's the land experimentals that we're really looking at changing the explosion damage.
Oh, really?
Some of the UEF, for example, when they explode, you think a nuke was going off.
Oh, yeah, Nino used that against me.
Yeah, and there's some argument about saying why are these things so nasty when they explode, especially when they're not necessarily huge units and they're overpowered.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's always worth the discussion. What are you suggesting? Like some shield under a shield that would protect? What would it look like?
Well, something like the artillery protection system, or even just basic shields as well. Maybe it could be like a shield, where instead, like, it could protect against, like, falling things. It's just like how you guys have a special unit for the artillery. Like, I do understand it doing damage to the shields and probably destroying the shields, but I mean, like, you ever seen like the sci-fi movies when something hits a shield, it smacks into it?
Well, that's been a discussion we've brought up about the role of shields. Like, what was that really poor movie that came, sci-fi movie? Was it Battleship?
Battleship, maybe.
Anyway, it was from the board game Battleship, if you're familiar with it.
Oh, I remember that movie, yeah.
Anyway, not a forgettable movie, but they had shields in the movie that did exactly that. And I remember we talked about it. It's a hard argument to make because then there's going to be players that are going to get angry that shields are impenetrable, or how long can they stay impenetrable for? How do how would you break that? So if you and your friend Nino were coming up on an AI,
yeah,
and his base has got that shield and it's impenetrable, then how do how would we deal with that?
I wonder if we can make it more because how I always thought shields worked in in sci-fi and stuff, and even in the original game, is that it's pretty much velocity based, and that's why you can, like, you shoot at it and it absorbs it, but then if you can just walk right through it.
It does absorb, and if it absorbs too much energy, if I understand correctly, it goes back to the base of the shield, and that's what causes it to blow up. That's
really?
One of the, yeah, it can, it's like overkill in a way. So if the shield goes down but too much has knocked it, the energy gets redirected to the shield, and the shield can explode.
Yeah. Or I wonder, like, sorry, if there's like a way, like a unit that could potentially have such a, basically like meteor like things in TV shows. Like, could we have something big enough where it basically can blow up the entire, or shatter basically the entire object so it doesn't kill you?
You can't. While I'm not 100% comfortable giving the answer, I am confident in it. You can't manipulate Rex. Once a unit is destroyed, they're all animation based.
Oh.
I think if I remember right. And if I'm wrong, my bad. But I feel like, you know, so the new unit that's coming out has the most animations.
Oh, really?
Out for a unit.
That's cool.
Has several death animations. So yeah, their deaths are like animations, and then I think it turns to wreck. And you know, I don't think you can manipulate that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, gotta remember, man. This game's like, you know, it's so old.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be so much nicer if a new game came out that had the heart of this game, but could utilize all the threads and, you know.
Have you guys ever looked into, what's it called, Planetary Annihilation or Ashes of the Singularity?
Yes, and didn't really care for either of them.
Okay.
Planetary Annihilation, I can't give a lot of feedback on, but I know a lot of guys on the team were part of the backers, like, you know, when it was kickstarted.
Oh yeah, I was too.
And we're very disappointed with what the final product was.
Yeah.
At least in relation to perhaps how it was described as what it was going to be.
Yeah, it looked a lot cooler.
Yes. And Ashes of the Singularity, I believe the Stardock released that game as a way of showing off their engine so people would want to buy it and make games.
Oh.
I think a bunch of the guys went in. We went in and checked it out. It wasn't bad, but didn't have the charm of, you know, Forged Alliance.
Yeah, I think one of the most interesting things to me is, like, Nino, he sometimes gets frustrated with how much I want to play Thousands games. He's like, why do you want to keep playing these? Like, these are the games I played when I was younger, and they're, like, really good and fun. It just doesn't like playing nice. I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah, I have no pearls of wisdom on that, man.
I don't know. I just keep hoping. Like, it reboots fast because I have an SSD, so it's not really much of a problem. Yeah, so I think we'll right when we can play. I think it's, oh no, all my units are just confused now. They don't even know what to do. That's one of the things I've noticed. You start making too many units and a traffic jam. A giant.
Yes, that's collision and yeah, man, that's like ridiculous amounts of gameplay.
They're not even attacking Michael anymore. They're just all confused.
Yes, because they're just collision boxes, other oddities going on.
Gave up.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Well, no, I didn't give up. I just selected all of them and right-clicked on him because I've noticed that they try getting to like a predetermined place after spawning instead of going straight to his base for whatever reason. And then these quantum gateways built so fast, they're literally still inside of them. The stream's back. They're literally still inside of them, and they don't know what to do. They're still being spawned as they're running around in here. Look at this.
Yeah, this isn't even a loud map. I don't even know what this is.
Oh really?
Zoom out so I can see. Is it like a 5 or 10K map?
Yeah, it's a 10K.
I'd probably.
Yeah, I haven't put in any other maps yet. I should probably stop these factories from building.
I generally only can.
Yeah, I've noticed that it's kind of skewed more towards that. It's just the main problem for us when we play on big maps. Even 20 is kind of big for us. It's just it starts taking a long time to be able to get your units over there, and the game starts taking a while.
Got to use the logistics, man. Got to use the transports. I mean, Seraphim has a teleport for units.
Yeah.
There are ways around that, I think. But I hear you. 40-kilometer takes more time, more logistics.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried playing an 81 a long time ago, and it just even trying to get to other people to fight them. Like if the game could save, none of this would be a problem. I would totally do like the biggest map, and just play it for days.
Yeah, I think it's like I don't know if you're familiar with like Civilization series games.
Yeah.
Stellaris, even Hearts of Iron. Like I think when you're playing multiplayer games, people don't want to play for like 3 and 4 hours. You have to kind of play at those good settings where, I mean, how long do your games normally go? You know, what do you play, like for an hour, 2 hours?
We try to keep it around an hour, maybe 2, but that's usually optimistic. It usually drags into sometimes 3 or 4, and that's when we're all like, oh man. It's like we need to go to bed, or we're just getting exhausted, or it's just a big commitment.
So
and
put time limit on. There's a we play. We often put the time limit on.
There's a time limit?
You know, you can set the time for like 2 hours, 1.5, 2.5, and it counts down and the game ends.
Oh, then who wins then?
Whoever got the highest score, or for us we just consider it a draw. If you know, we play against the AI, so if we don't have the game won in 2.5 hours, then to us it's like, wow, we lost. We should have done better.
Okay, that makes sense.
And for us, it's for those kind of reasons, so that you're not locked into, you know, playing some 4-hour, you know, might be an epic game, but you know, you're looking at the clock and it's 3 a.m. At least for us, because we play at, you know, fairly late at night.
Yeah, exactly. I'm already having problems with pathing right now.
Yes, that's no surprise.
My commander fell asleep.
Like zoom out for a minute so I can see. I probably would have built all of those gates in the back so that the units could go through that pathway.
Yeah, it's one of the things I noticed is when you have a lot of units, like they don't do anything, and I feel like it takes time just to get to them, to tell them what to do.
Yes, that's a game thing.
Yeah, it's always been there.
Pathing. It's just there's so much stuff going on and so much units and small space and it's
Nice
like
try, man. Nice try.
Yeah.
they pinball.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of my favorite things, but also one of the most frustrating things. Is it makes the game feel like the pathing is way better in Supreme Commander 2, but it's a lot more fun like this.
Yeah, if you could take some of what worked in Supreme Commander 2 and put it here, it would be fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like every unit feels like an individual because of their individual pathing. It's really interesting.
Yeah, we've talked to, like, one of the ideas I've been tossing around would be having Brewland design some units to replace the sub-commander. They would come out like prefabbed, if you will, so they would be like a proper combat engineer, a proper engineer, maybe like a recon engineer that could teleport, like sub-commanders, I'm talking.
Yeah, it'd be nice, because I don't know if you ever noticed, I spent a lot of time enhancing them.
Yeah, but some of the enhancements to me are just useless. Like, there's no point there's no point making a sub-commander a combat unit.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be an engineering. Do you do the auto upgrades?
Auto upgrades?
Yes, you can auto upgrade sub commanders and program what upgrades you want. When they come out of the factory, they'll just do it automatically.
I was going to ask if that was possible.
I'm a little bit high at the moment,
Oh.
but on a night I can take you in and show you how to set it up. It's you have to turn. I think you have to turn it on. Not in your mods. I think it's in the main menu settings, maybe.
Okay.
You have an icon that looks like a little wrench in the top right anywhere.
In the game?
Yeah.
At the top right. Combat
Yeah.
upgrade path.
I have a question.
Engineer upgrade. Oh, I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah. I think your friend has a question.
Oh, what's up?
How do you make it so like when you your what's it called? Like let's say your land factory, your quantum gateway, like it'll spawn units and like it'll automatically go into a target. You just click on it and click move.
Oh, you want your guys? Oh, so how I'm making it so that they spawn and they just automatically
Yeah.
go somewhere?
Like what you're doing, yeah.
Okay, so you click on your factory and then you like basically command it with how you want everything to happen. So, like you can select your factory and right click on my base, and then everything spawned should just go straight to my base.
Wait, so click on move, and then go to your right click on your factory.
You click on your factory and you right click on my base like you're trying to tell your factory to go to me, but then
Yeah.
that'll make everything that spawns from it go to my base.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you guys already have pre-baked ones?
We didn't create this. This is a mod from somewhere. Yeah, it's like a military commander and an engineering commander. But you can actually custom do it yourself. So you can have whatever upgrade on each arm you want.
Oh, how do I? Okay, how do I start it?
You can only have 3, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. How do I make it automatically start upgrading them?
So hit your, what is it, F1? You want your the menu for the unused. It's going to be an unused hotkey that you have to activate.
Append ACU to selection. Create build template. Cycle through idle factory. Oh my gosh.
So
It's
if you
like
scroll down to unused. Okay, I guess there's a delay here in your stream. So if you scroll down to the unused icon,
yeah, I'm in the.
you're going to look for something like place SACU marker or SACU upgrade marker.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. So assign a key for it.
Oh, that's already marked something. What do you usually make it be?
I just use W. I don't really use the keyboard.
Oh.
So I mean, unless you're a keyboard guy.
Wow, like everything's assigned to something. Okay, tilde key works.
Okay.
Okay, so do I click on the factory and do that, or do I click on the unit that spawns?
You click on the factory, and no. So you kind of have to hover your mouse over where you want it, and then hit the Q button, or whatever button you've assigned it to.
Okay, so I clicked on the factory. I clicked on the tilde key. I clicked on engineer.
So usually, no. So let's say you want your rally point, like wherever your rally point is, that you want your sub commander to come out and stop. You choose which one you want, engineer, combat, and whenever the unit comes out of the factory and stops, it will start to auto upgrade.
Oh, so it's a spot?
Yes, think of it as like a radius. Anything in that any sub commander in that radius will automatically upgrade.
Okay, that makes sense.
So the nice thing about that is when you're looking at idle sub commanders, you know at least they've all been fully upgraded. And you don't have to sit there and click and whack a button.
Yeah, because that's something I keep having to do. So let's see, how do I set that radius?
Yeah, I don't know what the radius is, honestly. You just set a rally point to where you want your sub commanders to go out of the gate, and I just
Huh. Okay, I guess we'll figure it out later then. Right now I'm trying to kill Michael with a... There we go. Fairing worked.
Yep.
What are you doing? What are you doing, man?
I'm killing all of my Tech 1s. I'm fairing them all over.
Wait, what? Wait, are you killing me?
This works better.
Oh my god, what are you doing, man?
I probably shouldn't have used Tech 1 transfer.